JW is back at it here to give everyone another Walking Dead Season 10 episode reaction video as I've watched the newest episode of The Walking Dead a few days early on AMC Premiere, and I just want to give you guys my reaction early. But before I get into that, it's extremely important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching The Walking Dead, that you take the initiative and pay attention to the episode title, which of course I'll put in the description. If that's the case and you find out that you're not caught up, I suggest, and so does everybody else, that you don't watch this video any further. This is going to be The Walking Dead Season 10, episode number 18. The title of the episode is called Find Me. This will be my review, reaction, recap of the episode. Daryl and Carol have a conversation in the woods on the present timeline, and Dog is there. And then Daryl and Carol decide to go hunting and get on Daryl's motorcycle, and Dog follows them. And then we have Carol, who catches a fish while spearfishing, and then all of a sudden Dog decides to run off, and Dog ends up leading them to what I believe, or what is believed to be, an abandoned cabin in the woods. Then we get a flashback that says 5 years ago, when Daryl was in the woods looking for Rick, and he meets Dog, a very young puppy dog at the time. And then we get the past Carol that tells Daryl, while he's at his little campsite, that Maggie has left with Georgie. And then Carol tells Daryl it's been 2 years. So Daryl apparently has already been living out in the woods for 2 years after Rick's apparent death or disappearance. And then we get a scene of Daryl dealing with a thunderstorm. He has a map of all the areas that he's been to, and the rain gets on the map, and Daryl starts freaking out over a map. And then it goes ahead one more year, and Daryl encounters Dog, a more grown-up Dog, 1 year later. And Dog leads Daryl to a cabin in the woods. When Daryl enters, kills a walker with his crossbow. He's held up by a woman, and this woman tells Daryl that he's not leaving, and she means business. After thinking about it, this woman actually, well, Daryl's tied up into a chair. She cuts Daryl free and lets him leave, and Daryl leaves her cabin. And then we go ahead by 6 months. Daryl sees Dog again. Gotta love Dog. And Dog takes him to the cabin again, where Daryl sees this woman again. And they kind of talk a little bit, and she tells Daryl that Dog's name is Dog. So it's this unnamed character so far. That's her dog. We knew Daryl got Dog from somebody, but we thought Daryl named Dog because it just sounds like something Daryl would do. But turns out it's not. It's this unnamed character thus far. And then some more time passes, and that's a common theme in this episode. And Daryl is battling some walkers, and there's a lot of them. It seems like he's getting a little outnumbered where he's backing up. And all of a sudden, somebody shoots some of the walkers, and it turns out to be this woman again. And she essentially saves Daryl. And then she tells Daryl that her name is Leah. So now they finally know each other's names. Daryl knows her name is Leah. She saved him. She seems to be a pretty tough survivor, from the looks of things at least. And then Daryl does go back to her place. And then we have another flash forward of about, it was 3 months. And I'm not really sure why Daryl does this, but he eventually goes back to her place again and decides to throw a fish on her doorstep. Maybe thinking that that was like a peace offering. Hey, you saved me. I was kind of in trouble and you just saved me. I don't know. But he throws a fish at her door. And then Leah shows up at Daryl's little campsite or campground that he has. And she tells Daryl she can catch her own damn fish. So she's not happy about the fish. that Daryl threw at her door and just walked away. And then Leah essentially tells Daryl that she wants to be left the hell alone. And then Daryl and her bicker about it. And then Leah decides to invite Daryl back to her house again. Leah tells Daryl that she didn't have a family growing up. And then Leah talks about her group to Daryl and mentions her son Matthew. She didn't actually give birth to this Matthew, but it was her sister's, her zombie apocalypse sister's son. And then Leah starts to get a tad emotional, actually really emotional, and talks about having Dog's mom next to her, and she got separated from her family at a certain point, and then she said goodbye to her son the same day that Dog was born. And then Leah tells Daryl that she hadn't seen anybody's son since until Daryl showed up. And then Daryl talks to Leah about losing his brother, and he's talking about Rick here, not Merle, because he never found a body, which is true. And then Leah decides to go spearfishing with Daryl, and she actually catches a fish, and Daryl's not happy about that. Now, it's implied, but you don't see it, that Leah and Daryl got it on, which is a very interesting development here. I'm guessing that's what happened, but they don't come out and actually say it. But that's a pretty interesting development. We haven't seen Daryl do anything like that yet. It's kind of a different thing for Daryl. And then we flash ahead 10 months, another stupid time thing in this episode. And Leah tells Daryl that he doesn't know where he belongs. He doesn't know if he belongs looking for Rick, going back to his family, Alexandria Hilltop Kingdom, or staying with Leah. And she tells him to make a choice. Choose somebody. Don't just try to, whine about it, but stay with her. She wants him to make a decision on that. And then Daryl's packing up his little campground, and then Carol shows up and says she's not going to visit for a while. Something about wanting to stay at the kingdom with Ezekiel and Henry again. This is before, what happened with Henry. This is after years after Rick died, before the Whisperers. And Daryl goes back to the cabin and doesn't see Leah, and he writes a note and puts it in her little hidden place that's in the flooring, and it says, "I belong with you, find me." And he leaves with Dog, and then we go back to present time with Daryl and Carol at this cabin, and they're kind of arguing about, Daryl always has to find people. He doesn't. Carol doesn't want Daryl to blame himself for losing certain people like Merle, Rick, and others. And then Carol mentions Connie, and Daryl says that she was responsible for losing Connie because she just has to do things her way. And then Daryl says she should leave, and this time he won't stop her. So they have an argument, they get in a little fight, and that's pretty much when the episode ends. So very interesting episode of The Walking Dead. Now I understand it's a bottle episode. They had to kind of do things a little bit differently for the COVID situation or quarantine situation. We just had Daryl and Carol in this episode. And Dog, and then this Leah character that we didn't really get a lot of, and we don't know what happened to Leah still. And I just thought the episode as a whole, with all the stupid time skips and that, I didn't really enjoy it. Now, maybe if I watch it again, I'd like it more, but I don't think so. I mean, I'm not the biggest Daryl and Carol fan. I would love to see them hook up, but they've been, delaying it and delaying it and delaying it and, making us think it's never going to happen. It's just getting old, as far as I'm concerned. And then this Leah character, who was actually pretty interesting, is she needs to show back up in season 11 or the remaining episodes of season 10. Otherwise, this episode is completely useless. See, I don't like this. This was something they did to try to like stall time to have another episode where I'm not really, this should not have happened. And it just came out of left field too. Like all of a sudden, Daryl had what we think is a relationship with this character, and we're not sure if that's what happened or not. So I don't know. Maybe I'm a little hard on this episode. I like Carol. Daryl's grown on me a little bit, but I just didn't like this episode that much at the moment. So I'm gonna give the episode a 6 point. I'll give it a 6.8 out of 10. I'll give Daryl the character of the episode because, well, he's pretty much the only character in it besides Carol and Leah. Although I did think about giving it to Dog, but I can't give an animal the character of the episode. So you've heard what I have to say about this early reaction of this episode. Now it's your turn. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead and you like this episode from season 10 called Find Me, go ahead and smash that like button. If you didn't like the episode like me, still smash the like button. I mean, you're a fan of Walking Dead. You're listening or watching this video, so do that for me. If you know anybody that would be interested in this early reaction, go ahead and share the video with them. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section. I'd like to see what the fan base has to say, especially about this episode. Comment anything you want. I know maybe I'm a little bit more critical on this episode, but I just found it boring. Like, honestly, in my humble opinion, I feel that it's on the same level as Still, which is season 4, episode 11, I think. The Beth episode where she wants to have a drink, and at the end of the episode, Beth gets taken away. And then season 7, episode number 6, which is Swear, the Tara going to Oceanside episode. I feel like it's one of those episodes. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe that's just how I feel, but I really want to hear what you have to say. So leave comments. Tell me what you liked about the episode, if you liked anything about it. Tell me what you think of Leah's character. Tell me if you think Daryl and Leah got it on. And then, of course, well, actually, one other thing. Tell me how cute Dog was as a puppy. That was awesome. I liked that. And, of course, last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button, subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.